Welcome into Jags A.M. today. I'm Kainani Stevens, Brian Sexton, John Oehser with me as we talk about another Jaguars win while also looking ahead to a challenge this week as they face off against the Jets. Let's give you our big things for today, brought to you by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association. Big thing number one is leading the way. We put a lot of pressure on the trenches on this team, and we should give some credit where it's due. The offensive line has looked excellent lately, and with some rotating pieces in there, specifically Cole Van Lanen. Brian, the quarterback, didn't get touched in the game against the Colts on Sunday, and a lot of that due to what the offensive line was able to do.
Without a doubt. And listen, leave it alone. As long as you don't have other injuries. If you don't, by the way, that's a great sign for this team's prospects into January. But leave it alone. Cole Van Lanen is playing as well as any of your offensive linemen right now. And forget the fact that he's played at 4 different positions. He's just playing great football. Leave him in place. And by the way, I don't think I need to plead the case. I think the Jaguars brass knows he's one of those guys, John. You just got to find a way to keep him on the field. No matter what he does for you, he's doing it really well.
Yeah, he's been remarkable. Teams talk these days about having 8 starting offensive linemen. Most teams don't. This team feels like it's got 6, 7, or 8, and Cole Van Lanen's a big reason for that. He might be 2 or 3 of them by himself. Look, the offensive line this year, no offensive line has perfect 17 games. But over a 13-game period, this group has been good and really good far more often than not.
And you know, a great example of this, Kai, and we saw it, I'm sure a lot of people watched the Texans-Chiefs on Sunday night because of the implications to the Jaguars. And you saw, the Chiefs were down to backups at 4 of 5 spots and then lost the backup at left tackle, right? They were on their 3rd left tackle, and they couldn't do anything all night long. So the importance of the offensive line is impossible to overstate.
Absolutely, and I think Cole Van Lanen's earned a spot on the roster wherever that's going to be. At this point, he was at left tackle last week. So our second big thing is going to be big play day. We talked a ton about getting the deep ball going and what we wanted to see there. Brian Thomas Jr. had some big catches in the game and kind of flashing, showing what we know he's capable of. Liam Cohen talked a little bit about BTJ's confidence.
I think just getting healthier, right? Like as a wideout and you got an ankle, like that's just, it's hard. It's hard to feel confident probably going out and cutting and running and stopping and making plays. And I think right now he just feels better. He feels healthier. He's been practicing hard. He's been practicing at full speed. Him and the quarterback and Trevor have worked at it. Like they've put time into it. And it showed up yesterday in a big way for us. Like, that's an area of our offense that has been much needed. And to have it show up yesterday was such a good thing to see.
Brian obviously had a great game on the field. We hear he's practicing better. Also, I think the influence that we've seen from Jacoby Myers' addition to that wide receiver room is rubbing off on him a little bit as well.
Yeah, it's really important that he is this factor. I think just as big as BTJ is the fact that Trevor also worked Tim Patrick in deep. He's throwing the deep ball better. I think if BTJ gives them this element and gives them that fear factor, I think I talked about earlier this week, now defenses have to worry about him as well in the offense. It's going to open up a lot more things. This element, Brian, has been the one element that is lacked in this offense. It's been a really good offense all year, hasn't been great. This might make it great.
And you know, it wasn't the only one. The dependable hands of Jacoby Myers was an element that was missing from this offense. And the presence of Brenton Strange and everything that he brings was missing. Now you've got those 2 pieces. 2 dependable guys that like the middle of the field, which allows Brian Thomas Jr. to run the routes that he likes best. 25 or more yards down the field. I'm not saying he won't go over the middle because he did on his first catch, the 16-yarder, to set up Travis Etienne's first touchdown. He will, but he's more comfortable running deep routes and being way down the field and letting his length and his speed and his height come into play for Trevor Lawrence. If Lawrence is throwing the ball accurately outside the numbers and down the field, then BTJ is the guy. What's really the telling part here is that all the different pieces that have their specific roles in this offense are healthy and back on the field together at a critical time of the season.
And Kai, think about what they did the other day. Look, they were a very good passing team. You feel like they had a lot of options. And Parker Washington, the guy who has become sort of the one, didn't even play and we didn't talk about it. So now you go 5 deep with really reliable pass catchers in this offense. That wasn't the case in September.
And we have to mention that Travis Hunter's on injured reserve, because we've talked about all these incredible parts that are all of a sudden there, and you're playing without a guy that you thought at one point this year you would have playing well at the end of the year.
Yeah, it'll be great to see what he looks like when he comes back next season, if they can all continue to play this well this year and then build on it next year as well. Our final big thing today going to be week by week. This team tries their best to take everything day by day and week by week. And this week it will be a challenge. They're going to take on the New York Jets. Brian, I think when we talk a little bit about what they can find motivation in, they talk about the disrespect a lot, but they also got to have some internal focus this week.
Well, and I have complete confidence in Liam Cohen to get that done, because if you go back to the Houston loss, he had his team focused only on the Chargers. He didn't let them sit back in feel sorry for themselves in the Houston game. He moved them through quickly and got them ready to go. I expect that he will be able to have his team focused and ready to go for the Jets. Records mean nothing at this point of the season. That was his comment on Wednesday of the Chargers week. I'm sorry, not the Chargers week, the week against the Titans. And I expect him to say the exact same thing this week and have his team ready to go. He's proven he can do it.
Yeah, look, I don't know if the Jaguars will win Sunday, because you never know in the NFL. But I do believe that they will be ready to play, and I don't think there will be any, overlooking, anything like that. This is still a young team and a team where this is new to them. And they still believe, as Travis Etienne, that nobody likes them. So I would be stunned if you see a drop-off that you can attribute to complacency. It just doesn't feel like what this team is.
Yes, feels the hunger is definitely still there. Stay with us here on Jags A.M. We're going to do a little this or that about this team coming up after the break.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
My best friend Riley loved going to the beach. She was a great swimmer. Then one day, during a swim meet, she collapsed. She had cancer, Hodgkin lymphoma. She spent months getting care at UF Health. The doctors did so much, even put her in a clinical trial. I wish we could go to the beach right now. But she's working.
Out of the water.
She's on lifeguard duty. Maybe we'll head out when her shift is done.
UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Jaguars tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
The stadium bathroom line. It's like TSA and the DMV merged in the waters of rush hour traffic, and you're in it. No closer to the bathroom than you were 5 minutes ago. Just closer to, well, going to the bathroom. You know what actually takes a minute? Pre-ordering an Uber so no one drives impaired after the game. Take a minute, make a plan. Never drive impaired. Go to takeaminutenow.com. From Diageo, Mad, Uber, and the NFL. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, Duval! Getting to the game just got easier thanks to the new Geico Game Day Shuttle program. Geico's got you covered with a complimentary service before and after every Jaguars home game this season. Ride with your friends, ride with your family, and ride with ease. Enjoy celebrating those unforgettable moments both on the field and on the road. The Geico Game Day Shuttle service runs 3 hours before kickoff and 1 hour post-game. Learn more at jaguars.com/parking. And go Jags!
Jags A.M. brought to you by Fields Auto Group. See Fields First, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Head over to fieldsauto.com. Welcome back into Jags A.M. today as we get ready for a matchup against the Jets. We're kind of looking at the team so far this season, where they're at. I think they're certainly past what we expected maybe in this first year of the new regime. But we're going to take a little cue from National because I've heard a couple of different people talking about this, and we touched on it yesterday. But Trevor looked as good as I've seen him in this is my third season, so my 3 years here. But obviously you guys know him a little bit better and have seen more out of him. But do you feel like that was the best game that we've seen from Trevor, the most complete game we've seen from Trevor?
To me, if it wasn't the best game, it was certainly the second best game. He was protected and he made all the throws. And I think the most telling throw, John, was that rollout, that naked rollout to the left side that he threw to Tim Patrick down the sideline. How many times have we seen him come out of that naked rollout and stumble and go too deep or stay too far from the sideline? I thought it was perfectly executed for maybe the first time I've seen him do that in his career, and it was right on target. Was that third down? It was a big play at the time. I thought he rose to the occasion in every single moment. If it wasn't his best, man, make the case for it.
Yeah, and I don't even know if specific plays or stats, but you guys watched the game, and you've watched him this year and last year when things were a mess, and even in 22. Take stats out of it, just take the eye test. Didn't he just feel in control?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and like every play, he knew where he was supposed to go with it, confident with it, never really put the ball in danger. There might have been one where I was like, and it was fine. He looked like a guy. I hate the word light comes on because there's going to be games that are up and down, but he looked like a guy who belonged where he was and who knew that he was the best person to be there, and that what he did was right. I said a couple weeks ago, I don't know how much he listens to the noise, right? But I remember Cam Robinson telling me on an Ozone podcast a couple years back, because Cam had been criticized, right? And he said there's a point where you sort of forget about it, and then there's a point where you truly don't care and you just go play. And I kind of wonder if Trevor's not at that with the let it rip 5 years into it. I kind of wonder if he's not at that point of, hey, you know what? I'm going to go play.
Well, it's worth pointing out, we've seen in most games this year a moment where even if it wasn't intercepted, you're like, no, you can't throw that one. I mean, that's too dangerous. The last 2 weeks, there has not been one of those plays.
Nope.
Not at all.
Even when you were cringing a little when he was rolling out, it worked out perfectly.
I mean, there's going to be moments, guys. I mean, he's going to have games that are bad. Jalen Hurts this week had an awful game, and he's really good. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be moments like that. But don't you feel like in the last 3 weeks, this is the best he's played since 23, maybe late 22. And even in those, there were picks and he would catch fire. These are solid quarterback performances of a guy who looks like he really knows what he's doing.
People are not holding their breath, waiting for mistakes anymore.
No, it's great to watch, and it's nice to have that confidence and trust in your quarterback. I'm looking at some of the points in the season I feel like were pivotal moments. We've talked a ton about it. The loss to the Texans, right? The kind of falling apart in the fourth quarter, for lack of a better way to describe it. And when you're looking at the playoff race now, with the Texans kind of getting back in reach, and you're probably looking and saying, oh, I kind of want that one back. But for me, I feel like the Texans' loss really drove them to the team that they are. So, John, when I'm looking at this a little bit, do you feel like the Texans game, the loss was almost needed to get them to this point? Like you kind of use it as a turning point, or would you rather have that win on the roster, on the schedule?
I think if they'd given up a big lead and still won, they might have gotten the same lesson. So, but yes, for whatever happened, it did teach them a lesson. I also look at the Texans game a little differently than people. They got that big lead from some turnovers. Yeah. They had 200 yards offense or 235. They really didn't dominate the Texans. They got themselves into a position where they should have won the game. Realistically, don't you feel like those two teams, it's sort of right that they split? Because, karma, whatever, they probably both deserve to beat the other one and are the two best teams. But I do think the way that game ended with the pass rush not being able to get anything done, it certainly inspired that bunch. And a defense that felt like it was good all season had sort of a mind slip game, and they're very, very good now. So, yeah, I'll say, Brian, they needed it. Yeah. Although I think if they'd won with a field goal at the end, they might have gotten the same lesson.
Well, listen, find me a perfect team, right? There hasn't been one since 1972, and in that case, every team since then has a game that you look back at and say, if this, then that. You hope that the Texans game, you say, this is the game that prompted us to play better football, as opposed to, well, we would have won the division if we held on and won that game, but instead the schedule rolled out and the Texans won out and we lost one. You know, I mean, that's all the scenarios that are in place right now you kind of worry about. I'm just of the belief, my dad always used to say, Brian, it isn't what happens to you, it's what you do about it. And so what happened was they didn't make a play on offense or on defense, but they came back the next week and started a winning streak. They did something positive with it. So I will say absolutely it turns out to be a very positive thing because they did something positive with a negative outcome.
And I keep harping on this because we sort of look for moments like this, and this is a good segment. But it's not like 2022 where they struggled, and then sort of caught fire on this late run. This team's been good all year, right? Like they started 1-0, they were 4-1. They played two really good teams in the Rams and the Seahawks to get to 4-3. Guess what? The Texans are really good. That means their only flub-up loss was to Cincinnati week 2. Other than that, I'd make the argument that the Texans, Rams, and the Seahawks right now might be among the top 5 or 6 teams in the league.
Sure.
It takes a really good team right now to beat the Jaguars.
Well, and listen, I mean, you look at the Eagles, they're struggling right now, but if they get hot late in the year, is anybody going to be surprised? No, because they're a talented football team and they have the opportunity in front of them to make a run. So you have to look at your team from a whole perspective.
Absolutely, and I think that was a good opportunity to use as motivation, and they clearly have for the past couple of weeks. So stay with us here. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on around the NFL.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
This holiday, Verizon is helping you bundle up incredible gifts and savings. You'll get the latest phone with a new line on My Plan and a brand new smartwatch and tablet. No trade-in needed, even on our lowest price plan. That's 2 gifts for your family and 1 for you. Or 2 for you and 1 for someone else. Or 3 gifts for you and only you. Either way, you save big on 3 amazing gifts at Verizon. All on the best 5G network. Visit Verizon today. Rankings based on Root Metric Truth Score report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Additional terms apply.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval! Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
Hey Jaguars fans, Thrive Infusions is Jacksonville's premier med spa for hydration, recovery, and performance. Whether you visit in-spa or book mobile IV therapy right to your door, they've got you covered. Their IV vitamin infusions help with hangovers, jet lag, dehydration, and overall wellness, keeping you energized and ready to go. Plus, with treatments like M-Sculpt Neo to build muscle and burn fat, and hydrofacials for glowing, healthy skin, they'll help you look and feel your best. Visit Thrive Infusions today and keep Jacksonville thriving on and off the field.
The stadium bathroom line. It's like TSA and the DMV merged in the waters of rush hour traffic, and you're in it. No closer to the bathroom than you were 5 minutes ago. Just closer to, well, going to the bathroom. You know what actually takes a minute? Pre-ordering an Uber so no one drives impaired after the game. Take a minute, make a plan. Never drive impaired. Go to takeaminutenow.com. From Diageo, Mad, Uber, and the NFL. Please drink responsibly.
I'm Foye Oluwakim from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or under the influence is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. Remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead. Have a designated driver or get a ride home. Keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
For 12 years, Dreamfinders Homes have been proud to call themselves the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all of the available inventory, and go Jags. Welcome back into Jags A.M. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on around the NFL. We're expanding past the AFC South because there's a lot of stuff going on in different places. But let's talk about the Colts. Obviously, the team we just played just got a win over. Daniel Jones, of course, confirmed has that Achilles injury. He'll be out for TBD a long amount of time, certainly not this season. And the Colts now bringing in Phillip Rivers, retired quarterback. Hasn't played since 2020, and he's on the practice squad now in Indianapolis.
Listen, Phillip Rivers is one of my favorite quarterbacks that I have ever watched.
I think he's like the prototype of a quarterback. Like, I feel like just tough and
just the kind of person that he is. I mean, he just fit. He checked all the boxes for me. I always loved watching him play when he was with the Chargers. This move seems so desperate. Listen, sometimes you just make bad move after bad move. You're doubling down. It was a terrible move to send your next 2 first-round picks to the Jets for Sauce Gardner. Bad move. Well, let's make another bad move. It makes no sense to me. 44 years, hasn't played since 2020. Can't possibly help you. Can't possibly.
I guess Jeff George wasn't answering the phone.
I guess.
I mean, it does make sense on one level. If you think they're a running team that plays pretty good defense, if you think that what you need is a guy who can just go facilitate, like maybe the way Peyton did in the Broncos' last Super Bowl run in the playoffs, where his intelligence did it, knew it, and can complete short passes. Look,
Peyton wasn't out of the game for 5 years, though.
He'd been hurt, though. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not saying that. I don't think anybody in the Colts organization would tell you, hey, this was one of our cards to play during training camp. Right. But nobody would tell you that it doesn't fit into the phrase "desperate times call for desperate measures."
Listen, I hope
hard to see it work.
I hope for his sake that Riley Leonard and Brett Rippon can play.
Yeah, I think that Colts would probably take Joe Flacco back at this point right now, too,
sure.
Even. Not available, obviously, but something to keep an eye on there. We'll see if Phillip Rivers actually takes the field. As mentioned before, Texans getting a win over the Chiefs, and at this point, looks like the Chiefs are what we've seen from the Chiefs, obviously this whole year, every single week, we're like, they don't look like the Chiefs of old. They don't look like the Chiefs of old, and I don't know, have they gone too far to bring it back?
Well, yeah, they're 6-7, so it feels like, look, never say the Mahomes can't do it. It's funny, I do the power rankings every week, and I keep sort of keeping them in the top 15 because every loss until this week was a tight loss to a good team. Like, their schedule has been brutal. That's never affected them before because they've always been the toughest team on everybody's schedule. I would guess, and all logic would tell you they're done. It seems like Kelsey, who is a Hall of Famer, isn't quite the go-to unlock every secret code player that he once was. I can't believe they recover from this, but 10-7 is also on the table, which could get him in.
Listen, the draft is the great equalizer. It was designed, right, the inverted draft order, to take the best teams and put them at the bottom of every round, which allowed the worst teams to draft the best players. I don't care if you're really good at drafting, and they were this year with Jason Simmons, the left tackle from Ohio State, who's hurt and off there. You can't possibly keep the talent level high when you lose players through free agency, which they have, and still be able to be the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not. They are not the same team. Even though Mahomes is there, and Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, they're not the same roster. They've got to work on drafting, and they will, middle of the pack, and get better players.
Yeah, the draft is the long-term equalizer. The short-term equalizer is injuries to your offensive line.
Yeah.
And injuries everywhere, but really the offensive line, we've all seen that, and they are way late on the offensive line.
They couldn't do anything the other night. Nothing.
Talking about injuries to the offensive line, the Chargers have been dealing with a lot. And Justin Herbert, I think, got sacked 6 or 7 times last night, but still found a way to get a win. And just another team, you're like, oh, maybe they're kind of out of it. They're finding their way back in as well.
They're very well coached, and they're getting one of their running backs back, and that was the way that Harbaugh always wanted to play, was run the ball and use play action with Justin Herbert having time to stand in the pocket and send the ball downfield. If their running game comes back, now their offensive line, obviously, they're down to what, their third left tackle and their second right tackle, but the running game can be a great equalizer.
Plus, he's a tough kid.
Yeah, he is.
Herbert's a good player. That you worry when he gets beat up like he is this year. You hope for his sake, sort of like Burrow. And those two guys I like as much as any quarterback in the NFL. Both of those guys taking a lot of shots. It's like what you worried about with Trevor the last couple of years. At some point, you don't want that wear and tear to reduce a player's effectiveness over the long term. But as long as Herbert's healthy for them, they're dangerous.
I hope he stays healthy because they host the Texans in 2 weeks.
Yes, they do. He had surgery on that non-throwing hand, but didn't seem to affect him too much last night. So clearly they're still able to get a win, and he's still able to be effective at the quarterback position. Stay with us here on Jags A.M. We'll tell you what's coming up the rest of the week.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
Hey, Duval! Getting to the game just got easier thanks to the new Geico Game Day Shuttle program. Geico's got you covered with a complimentary service before and after every Jaguars home game this season. Ride with your friends, ride with your family, and ride with ease. Enjoy celebrating those unforgettable moments both on the field and on the road. The Geico Game Day Shuttle service runs 3 hours before kickoff and 1 hour post-game. Learn more at jaguars.com/parking. And go Jags!
The stadium bathroom line. It's like TSA and the DMV merged in the waters of rush hour traffic, and you're in it. No closer to the bathroom than you were 5 minutes ago. Just closer to, well, going to the bathroom. You know what actually takes a minute? Pre-ordering an Uber so no one drives impaired after the game. Take a minute, make a plan. Never drive impaired. Go to takeaminutenow.com. From Diageo, Mad, Uber, and the NFL. Please drink responsibly.
To aim higher, run faster. It's what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA. To not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
A bold change. A historic development is underway for the Bold City, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and team partners are a part of it. Introducing First and Forward, a development partner program highlighting the significant contributions made toward the transformative efforts to the city of Jacksonville. Thank you, Belter, Brooks Building Solutions, Jackson Electric Supply, Office Images, Sims Crane, Start Tech, and People's Gas. Championing progress on the field and in the community. The First and Forward program. The First Coast Forward Together. To learn more, visit jaguars.com/forward together. When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. Zipchair is furniture for fans. And this weekend's game against the Jets, brought to you by Geico. It feels good to Geico. And only a couple more home games if you want to get out there. I don't think there's going to be the rain situation. I think it's back to typical sunny Florida weather. So high 60s, I think maybe 70-ish. So
with a 9-4 football team.
Let's go. That's what we've been talking about.
2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, and look, this Jets game is a big game. I mean, it's not 8-4 versus 8-4, but the Texans are on your tail. And I get that people haven't seen this sort of contending. But every game in this stretch matters. You know what the Jaguars have clinched right now? Nothing.
Yeah.
Zero.
They haven't clinched the South.
They're essentially in the playoffs right now.
But they haven't clinched.
No. I mean, they're in a playoff race right now with the Texans.
So it's, look, this, I've been back since 2011. They had a good season in 17, a good season in 22. This is fun.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get there Sunday, this is fun stuff, and it's a fun team to watch. So there's my pitch.
Jags had a couple of good teams in the mid-2000s when Jack Del Rio was here, but this feels more like the late 90s with Tom Coughlin, where you expected them to be able to play good football against, as we talked about, the best teams, right? You look at the teams they've beaten this year, and they're good teams. When the Jaguars used to line up, you knew they could go toe-to-toe with the best teams, have that same feeling. But as John just said, you also have to go toe-to-toe with the teams that aren't that good right now. And you got to find a way to get a win.
And the Jets can be a good game. I mean, they've started off, 0-7, 0-8, 3-3. Always remember, when you're playing a team that has a first-year head coach, that head coach is probably not going to get fired.
Yeah.
So guess what? The players want to play for this guy because he's going to be making decisions on their future.
Well,
so they're still all in. This is not third-year guy playing out the string.
And we touched briefly last week on the season finale here in 2021 when the Colts came down and all they needed to do was find a way to beat a team that had only won 2 all season long. And they couldn't do it. Not against a rookie quarterback with an interim coach. So you've got to remember the past.
Focus is important. We'll dive into that a little bit on Thursday, talk about specifically what they're going to need to do against the Jets. So join us here tomorrow on Jags A.M.